All right, gang, good afternoon. I hope you guys had a great weekend and ready to rock and roll this week. So, I got a decent watch list for you here. So, let's go ahead and jump right on into it, you guys. So, first one that I like here is going to be /6A, which is the Aussie Dollar. As you can see here, it's been pretty much bullish, running up, consolidating, running up, consolidating. And now we're back down to that 21 moving average right here. If I scroll on in, you can see it. There's the 21 moving average. We do have a nice little squeeze coming in. It is negative, so I'm going to keep an eye on this one. I like it long, and as long as it holds this 21 moving average, then I want to go ahead and take this play long. So what we're going to be looking at here, okay, IV is actually pretty nice too, 29%. We're going to be going out to the 54-day cycle, which is going to be May 7th, okay? And I want to go ahead, now there's two different options here, right? For those that have the larger account or like trading naked, I like here selling the 0.75 puts right at about a 23 delta. Okay, that's going to give you right as of right now, that's going to give you about $500 in credit, and it's only going to cost about, we're going to round that up, $1,300 in buying power. Okay, but it gives you a great 83% probability. I love the 500 to only 1,300 in buying power. Now you want to define it, absolutely no problem here, gang. Just go ahead and roll them puts up to 7.6 and buy those 7.5s behind it. That's going to give you half the amount of credit, $230, but define you with 770, and then the buying power drops all the way down to 260, all while giving you still a 71% probability. Okay. Next one here, guys, is going to be silver. So /SI. And as you can see here, silver has been consolidating pretty much since August. Just not really doing too much. Staying pretty much right around that 21 moving average. So with this one, we bounced off. We're heading on up to that 21. We do have a little bit of a squeeze, but I'm not worried about it. As you can see, I have a wide Iron Condor that I want to do here. So pretty much the lows, right around that 22.5, and then actually above the high. So if it does decide to take off, you are covered past those highs. Okay, so what we're looking at here on silver, and it's a little low on the IV, 8.2 IVR, and then we're sitting with a 39.5 implied volatility. So that's okay. It's going to be a little low on credit, but I'm trying to go more futures and stay away from some equities in this uncertainty on the market. So going well past the expected move, as you can see here, and that's another reason why it's a little bit lower in credit. I want to go ahead and look to sell the 22.5 puts, buy those 22.25s right behind it, so right around 10-11 delta. And then I want to go ahead and sell the 32.5 calls, buy those 32.75s behind that. And as of right now, it's about $160 in max profit. The buy, or the, not the buying power, but the max loss is large at $1,000. Okay, but silver's just always like that. We're never going to get a perfect loss to max profit. Okay, and it's only going to cost about $600. So it's again a little high in the buying power, decent credit, and the reason I like it is it's an 80% probability. So well past expected move. We got plenty of run room here in case it decides to run, but also we're right around near those lows. Okay, so good overall play here. Willing to put up that much buying power and risk that much loss for decent credit and having an 80% probability. So really good here. All right, next one, you guys, that I'm looking at is applied materials. Now this one, as you can see here too, if I zoom out a little bit, we've been pretty much bullish. Runs up, kind of pulls back, runs up, consolidates, runs up, consolidates, run up. Perfect pattern, right? Repetitive here. So now we pulled back after making those highs. We're right at that 21 moving average. You can see that we had that dip, which turned the 10x bars red. Now they're yellow, so we're kind of consolidating. We're building that squeeze up. The momentum indicator is showing that we're looking to see some upward momentum come in. So what I want to do here is take this one long off this 21 moving average. Okay. IV is pretty decent. All right, 14%, but the implied volatility is 47. So we're still in April cycle, 33 days. Right, and it's gonna be right at the money. It looks at the money, gang, but it's actually, almost, strike past the 36 delta here, and it's gonna be about $1.65. So perfect 1/3 the width of the strikes, and it's a 36 delta, 1/3 the width of the strikes. Our average probabilities here: the 62 pops, 73 P50. So perfectly good play here. And again, I'm going to be looking for this squeeze to shoot it back up. I want to see it come past the 1 ATR and run up to about the 2 ATR. Okay, as you can see, it actually, when it runs, it gets all up to 3 ATR. So I'm just looking for a quick move here, which is about all-time high, right around that 2 ATR move. Okay. Next one, guys, is going to be Carvana. Another one I like long here. Okay. As you can see, ever since making its all-time low back COVID in March, it's really just ran all the way up, consolidated, ran all the way up, pulled back a little bit, and now we're doing it again. We got a nice little low squeeze coming in. You can see here that the momentum is starting to shift back to the upside. So since we are above this 21 moving average, I'm gonna be looking for it to really run up to this 2 ATR spot. As you can see, when it does breach the 21, it runs up with that squeeze, fires, and then just rides the 2 ATR. Okay, and there it is, and then it fell back down right to the 21, did it again, ran up to 2 ATR, pulled back, ran up to the 21. You get the point, repetitive again here, right? So riding that 1 ATR here, we pulled back, we're riding right around that 21 moving average. So with this squeeze, I'm going to be looking for that run pretty much to all-time highs, right around 320 is what I'm looking for here. Okay, so here we are. Now the IV rank, right, 1%. James, why? That's because the implied volatility is still 68, and you can still get a decent credit even though the IV rank. And since this is a bullish play and I'm actually going directional on it, I'm okay with the 1 IV being directional. If it takes off, that's great. Plus, the implied volatility is still high, so we're going to get a decent credit. As you can see here, 28 delta, selling the 260s, buying the 250s. It's showing 360, which is more than 1/3 the width. Guys, that's not going to happen. It is about $3 wide on the 260s and just over $1 on the 250s. Most likely, we're going to look right around 330 in credit. I'll even take $3. If this fills, right, we're looking right around a 70 pop and an ADP 50. So really good odds here, gang. Okay. And then our last one is Etsy. Etsy's been usually pretty good to us. So as you can see, again, since those all-time lows, it's been running up. It runs all the way up to 3 ATR, pulls back to the 21. Runs up to the 3 ATR, pulls back. Again, repeat. Then we kind of trended sideways a little bit, ran back up. Each time it had a squeeze. So we have a low squeeze here. We're back above that 21 moving average again. So I'm looking for this guy to run back up to just the 2 ATR. I don't expect 3 ATR. That's a little high, but I am looking for it to kind of retrace back up to right around 250 off this squeeze. Okay. So with that one, we're looking decent IV, decent IVE. So April, I want to go ahead and sell the 195s, buy those 190s for about $1.30. Now, if the market's open high, I'll go up to the 200. But that's going to be, a little bit, I'd rather be, let me show you again here. I'd rather be below the 1 ATR on the downside. Just at some decent support, it tends to hold that, okay? So worst case scenario, if we do open a little bit higher, as long as we're below the 1 ATR, then I'll go ahead and jump up to the 200s instead of the 195s. So for right now, I'm okay with this. As long as I can get $1.30, we're looking at a 70 pop, pretty much an ADP 50. And my goal here is back up to those, right around those all-time highs at 250. All right, gang. Hey, that's it. That's all I got for you. Decent watch list. Now, again, remember, it can change if markets open up like crap. Watch list is going to completely change, and we have to kind of throw an audible in there and kind of play things to the downside. But we've been pretty strong last week. I'm hoping we continue that. Markets are looking good. So here we go. Guys, have a great rest of your evening. And one day I hope to see you in chat. Take care, everybody. Have a great afternoon.